Namo Adidafa. Thank you so much for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The fourth mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech and the inability to listen to others, I vow to cultivate loving speech and deep listening in order to bring joy and happiness to others and to relieve others of their suffering. Knowing that words can create happiness or suffering, I'm determined to speak truthfully with words that inspire self-confidence, joy, and hope. I'll not spread news that I do not know to be certain, and not criticize or condemn things of which I am not sure. I will refrain from uttering words that can cause division or discord, or that can cause a family or community to break. I'm determined to make all efforts to reconcile and resolve all conflicts, however small. We've been reading Ajahn Munindo's book, Unexpected Freedom, for our Dharma lessons. Today we're continuing in a chapter called Who Says It's Wrong to Feel Afraid, with a section called Fear is Just So. So our practice is a way of moving out of the tendency to indulge in habits of condemning, of being for or against our fear or whatever else it is we're experiencing. Our practice is that of assuming the disposition of one who receives into awareness that which is, silently listening and feeling freely. Fear is just so, no judgment. Fear in the beginning means I feel afraid, but if we keep listening to it and feeling it, the I falls away, and there's just feeling fear. Fear. And there is awareness, a presence in the middle of our experience, not pushing, nor pulling, not accepting, not rejecting, neither for nor against, neither not for nor not against. But it's not that I then have a newfound fixed identity as awareness, because I can't own this presence. Any feeling of wanting to own and be secure, we can also simply receive. Then we start to recognize that our desire and fear go together, that they are inextricably joined. When we see this connection between desire and fear, we don't want to get lost in desire anymore, because we see that whenever we get lost in wanting, we're building up fear for the future. Fear is the other side of desire. If I am caught in desire, what I don't see is how much I'm caught in the fear of not getting what I'm desiring. If we live freely with our feelings of wanting and desiring and wishing, if we live seeing clearly, knowing accurately, then the fear of not getting what we want is just that. It's just so. It's not a problem. But when we grasp at the desire to get, we also grasp at the fear of not getting. Even if we don't see it. We wonder where so much of our fear comes from. Why is it that more extravagant people who live more opulently, have more fear? Because they follow desire more. Fear and desire go together. As we work on being true with one, we discover a more true relationship with the other. If we want to be free from excessive desires, then we need to look at how we feel about fear. When we feel afraid, we receive the fear into awareness. If it's really strong fear, which it can be at times, if it's terror even, or panic, at least let's try and remember to inhibit the tendency to say this is wrong. We're not saying that it's right. We're not trying to feel good about it, but we're bringing into relief those voices within us that are saying that it's wrong to feel afraid. It's not wrong to feel afraid. It's not right to feel afraid. When we feel fear, we want to feel it fully, freely, without judgment. We are neither for nor against fear. As we open into a broader quality of awareness and we are able to receive our experience of fear into that awareness, we can study it clearly. We can study it deeply in our own way, not through reading books or merely through thinking about fear. Thinking doesn't do us any good at all when we really feel afraid. We can listen, feel, observe the whole body-mind contraction that we experience as fear. Fear is not a thing, it's an activity. Fear is the activity of constricting and contracting the heart energy. When we are challenged with some dangerous physical situation, the blood vessels in our body constrict and contract, we tense, we get more energy, and we can move out of that situation fast. That's what's supposed to happen. That's an appropriate reaction. But often the same thing happens inappropriately for some imagined reason or threat. We develop very complex patterns of avoiding the knowledge that we're doing this fear. We somehow feel a victim of it. And in our state of helplessness, the only thing we are able to do is judge it as wrong, decide that we're failing. But it is possible for us to expand beyond these contracted reactions with our well-developed radiant awareness, free from judgment, and even from the need to understand. Awareness is simply willing to receive accurately. When awareness outshines those shadowy reactions of denial and avoidance, the dynamic activity of fear that we are doing reveals itself. We feel it happening. We feel ourselves doing this constriction that obstructs the feeling of life, that obstructs the possibility of beauty, of intelligence, of love. Maybe we come to see that the possibility of loving is always here. In fact, it's the most natural condition. We see that the only thing that obstructs it is this contraction of fear that we're performing out of unawareness. And maybe, if we come to see this for ourselves, we give up trying to become more loving. We give up trying to not be afraid. It's a waste of time trying to be more loving. It's like trying to make money when you've got a fortune in the bank. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be at peace. Namo Adirafa. Thanks so much for joining me today.